What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your crypto pro.
Yay!
And today we have a very special video where I am going to try to illustrate a point in a special way that exposes the big mistake that people make when they are looking at price increases and more commonly, price crashes. Right now, we have a lot of panicking going on in the VeVe market, and people are saying that we are crashing and that prices won't come back again. Everyone is in FUD mode, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. One reason this could be is because the majority of people in the VeVe space do not have the experience in the stock market and crypto market and what the charts do over time and how to look at the chart in its entirety to be able to know that every price, every day, every point is a part of an overall bigger picture. Now, if this makes no sense to you, I'm going to attempt to make sense by illustrating a special picture. All right, so let's try this out. Back when I was a naughty little boy in grade school, we used to draw pictures in class and we would pass around little pieces of paper to each other and get little giggles and snickers. And there's one illustration that I used to do for friends to make them laugh. And I'm going to draw it out for you. And I want you to see if you can predict, okay? Predict what this picture is going to be before I get the picture done, all right? And so this is something that I would say as a young man, I used to love. And as a man, I still love these things. So I'm going to start to draw this picture. And we're going to see if you can name what this is before I get it finished. I want you to make a good prediction of what this could possibly be. Now, I am an artist, but I'm using the mouse here, so it's kind of hard to draw with the mouse, and you kind of can't get a complete idea of my artistic capability based on this. But I'm going to just do the best I can while you make your guesses as to what this picture is depicting. All right, so let's just continue on here with this very crude drawing. All right, here you start to kind of get an idea of what this might be. Well, I'll just continue on. Whoops, hang on a second. We got a little glitch in the mouse there. I got to make this special little part here again. There we go. And we'll try to see if we can just fill in a little bit. Okay, we'll fill in the best way that we can there. All right, now we're really making some headway. Wait a minute. Let me see here. Okay, we're going to use, we'll just do it like this. Hang on. I was going to use the circle tool, but I'll just do it like this, okay? There we go. Kind of like that. And now I'll use the circle tool here. And we'll put some circles right there. Now, what am I drawing? Does anybody have an idea of what this possibly could be? All right, have you been able to guess yet? Let me kind of erase out some of this area here. Whoops, I need the pencil tool. There we go. So let's just kind of take out that line. The yellows aren't matching there, but you get the picture. All right. So make your prediction as I'm making the lovely little drawing here. Okay. Let's just kind of clean this up a little bit, and I'm going to continue drawing while you people are making your predictions as to what this could possibly be. Are you jumping to conclusions yet of what I'm trying to tell you that I loved as a young man? I still love these things to this day. I mean, I do. It's been a long time since I've had one, but I still love these things. Okay, there we go. We'll just kind of do something like that there. All right, and now let's do this. There we go. Isn't the just cute there? All right. Now, have you been able to guess what this is yet? What is this that I'm drawing? Well, if you guessed a puppy dog, you are right. This is a puppy dog. I used to love puppies. I don't have a dog right now, but I loved puppies as a young man and haven't had one for a while as an adult. But there's my puppy dog. Now, if you guess something else, or if you jump to conclusions and you have a dirty mind and you thought that I was drawing an inappropriate depiction of a female, well, you're guilty of the same thing that people do when it comes to panicking about a crash, because you have made an inaccurate, premature assessment of the chart without including all of the information and looking at the chart in its entirety and allowing the chart to play out. Now, each portion of my little picture here is very important. Each part makes the whole picture. You have to have the eyes, you got to have the nose, the ears, the tail, and the body there, okay? And without portions of this, then the picture is not going to make any sense, okay? So if I were to take out, say, if I were to take out the eyeball, all right, it's starting to not make sense. Or let's say if I took off the tail, it might not make as much sense. Or maybe it's a Rottweiler or something that doesn't have a tail. Or if I take the legs off, it doesn't make sense. So I need all of the components of this. You know, if I took off the top of the head, you were making assumptions before that were incorrect. When I leave out the bottom, you were also making assumptions before that were incorrect. So we have to take all of the elements of this chart in its entirety to be able to properly assess what it is. Now, let's relate this to the chart for the Golden Moments Disney statue. Let me pull that up here and let's draw on this chart. So right now, everyone's panicking and saying we're crashing because the Golden Moments partner statue is at 27,000. We're crashing. That's it. It's never going to come back again. Well, you fail to consider the chart in its entirety and the fact that there's a good amount of this chart that we cannot see yet, combined with the fact that each portion of this chart is needed to get an overall assessment for what is going on. I will explain. First of all, we came out at what? This was $333. I think the price might have dipped after it first came out. No, it didn't. It just went straight up. And then it leveled off and we went into the dog days, as I always tell you. Okay. Then it kind of bumped up a little bit and we had a little bit of consolidation, right? Then we go bananas. There's a big consolidation. Then we leveled off again. And now we have the parabolic phase where we come to the market cycle peak, blow off top. And now we are moving into distribution mode, where we slowly start to tail off. And so people think we're crashing, but we're not, because when you consider the entirety of this chart, we're still doing good. We're still above the dog day level. We got a long way. A crash would mean falling below this previous level of accumulation during the dog days. This is not a crash. This is a normal market cycle. There are 4 phases to every cycle. What are those 4 phases? Accumulation, consolidation, markup, distribution, rinse, wash, and repeat. Now, if all things remain equal, I'll show you what will happen next. And we're going to have to move this over so we can get some more space so I can show you why I don't consider this a crash. And I consider this current time period where we have declining price as necessary for the overall picture in order to get to the next market cycle peak. So we're in distribution right now, right? How do we get to the next level? Well, we have to find a new base that is above the previous base. So we're going to draw a line, something like this, an ascending line. This has to be on the chart somewhere, okay? And once we get to this ascending baseline, which could be anywhere over 20,000, we'll establish a new base and go into a new accumulation period where price will do this, dog days. What happens after that? It is the consolidation where we get the bump. And then in order to get to the next parabolic run up, we have to come out of consolidation where then price will do this. And then we get a blow off top where you have an absolute peak in price. And then all of a sudden you go into the next period of, let's get an arrow here, of distribution where we start to correct. We have a whipsaw period. It goes up, and down, and then we start to settle. In order to get here, we have to have the 4 phases to complete. That's why you shouldn't be panicking about the zone that we are currently in right here. It's a necessary step. You will not get here until you complete distribution, accumulation, consolidation, bump. Then you can have your markup to the next phase. But people get impatient, they get upset, and they think the sky is falling. All right? When we know that you can't get to that next one, we don't skip and jump. So this is what you're never going to see happen. And it's because of human nature, where people come in waves, and the waves crash on the beach. They get bigger and bigger and bigger. Then we have a calm, and then they build up again. We had a frenzy of buying. We had waves where basically it starts, here's the waves on the beach getting higher and higher and higher, biggest wave, and then it breaks, and then it calms down, and then it gets quiet. All right? And that is part of science. I call it the Fibonacci sequence, or fractals, or the way that things repeat, and how the activity in markets tends to come and go in waves based on human emotion. And for all you people who say technical analysis doesn't work, or I had some ding-a-ling that was commenting on the last video, I can't even remember what he said. It was so dumb. But everything that we do is based on emotion, because you're not going to have a spike in buying without a frenzy and people getting super excited. You know how excited you were if you were holding one of these when we got to that peak at 47,000. Do you think you can run to this next peak and not have any excitement? Do you think that we can continue down right here without people crying and being sad and upset and scared? That's human emotion. That's what creates these phases. All right. Now let's clear this out and we'll leave this. Oops. Let's turn off drawing mode and we'll leave this in the middle of the screen just so we can stare at it. And what is coming next, I'm going to give you a report of the items on the market that I would consider to be market indicators, NFTs that are market indicators overall. In other words, I can look at this handful of NFTs on the VeVe app and I can tell what the market is doing just by looking at a handful without looking at every item or getting an overall of every single item lumped into one. Okay? Also, in the future, I'm going to talk about market capitalization and why I don't take it seriously, because it is a fictitious number. I have a very specific video, and I'm going to need you to remind me to do this to show you why market cap for NFT items and even crypto doesn't really exist. It's only a static snapshot. After that split second of doing the math to make the market cap number, it is no longer valid. So that's coming up too. All right. I want you to like, comment, and subscribe if you have not done so already, because we want to build this incredible channel all over the world so we can bring people together based on the common ground of our love for VeVe NFTs. We know there are wars and conflicts throughout the world, but we want to show the world that we can come together with a common cause, having fun, showing love for one another, helping our fellow man and our fellow woman to make the world a better place for you and for me. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time out of your busy day to watch. I really appreciate that. And last but certainly not least, let's look at the list. We've got some new countries to announce. Viewers coming in from Peru, Belize, Brazil, Slovenia, and Portugal. I'm so excited to have you all here. Tell a friend, tell your family, get more people from your country chiming in to the Crypto Pro channel so we can make our community the best one. Well, that's all I've got for now. This is Carlton, and I am out.